Hey everybody, it's Chainsaw Reacts back once again, another reaction for you guys. A couple days ago, as I'm uploading this video, I reacted to and uploaded Secret of the Omnitrix on the channel, all 3 parts. It was crazy, it was insane, and I heard after watching the film that there was 2 alternative openings to the film, because of course the opening that I saw from HBO Max had Heat Blast. Apparently, as I'm about to watch, there was an Accelerate opening and a eye guy, as he's called. I'm not sure if that's his actual name, but the alien that Ben turns into out of nowhere during -10 part 2, Ben 10 versus -10 part 2, out of nowhere it turns into this new alien, and apparently these are 2 alternative openings to the film. So I'm going to watch them, I'm going to edit them, of course, not play the whole entire thing, but edit them up like a TV reaction, just to see the different openings to Secret of the Omnitrix, and I'm curious to know why they made these. Like, what made them go, let's have 3 separate openings to the film? Like, it just seems kind of strange, because you don't hear normally about productions doing that in terms of, let's make a movie and let's do 3 alternative openings. And yeah, I have no idea. I'm guessing maybe different markets or whatever in terms of where the film aired. I'm not 100% sure. Maybe that's what it is. But I'm excited to get this now, guys, and check it out and see these alternative openings with Accelerate and Eye Guy. We'll go in that order: Accelerate and then Eye Guy. So let's dive in. Accelerate, accelerate, accelerate. Ooh, coming in. I'm guessing the Animo stuff is the same. I'm guessing, like the shots. Run circles. So I'm guessing alternative dialogue. Oh. Interesting. It's a little bit of a different fight, obviously. Hey, careful. So he hits some buttons and, okay, he's messing around with it instead of the fire, obviously, from Heat Blast. Interesting. Now it's time for some Eye Guy. It was interesting. I definitely have some thoughts after seeing that first one. And this, I'm assuming, too. Yep. It's confirmed. It's the same Animo shots, just with the new alien. Whoa! That chest, like, it's crazy how powerful this alien is. Energy beams. Different line there. Just like, kind of like Heat Blast did. So this version with Eye Guy is kind of like the Heat Blast one. That definitely was interesting, and I'm glad that I watched the Accelerate one first before seeing the Eye Guy one, because the Eye Guy one, as I was watching it, it was very similar in regards to how Ben was trying to shut down the system or the machine or whatever, but he was actually turning it up and trying to overhaul it or whatever. Just like Heat Blast, he was using that ray or whatever, that like big eye or whatever, that like beam, right? And so it was very similar to that. But Accelerate was very different. For a couple different reasons, obviously. So he didn't have like some sort of beam or some sort of like energy to send towards the machine. He was running around hitting buttons and pulling levers and going crazy. So I like the fact that that one was actually quite different than the Heat Blast, the one that I saw when I watched the film, and the Eye Guy one, which I guess I was expecting a little bit of difference, but since it does have not similar powers to Heat Blast, but it has, you know, Eye Guy has its own ray or some sort of energy powers or whatever, you know, using that to try to turn it up, you know. It's interesting. So I'm curious why they did this. Like, what I kind of noticed with the Accelerate, I was thinking back on the Heat Blast opening that I saw, of course, with the film on HBO Max. I was thinking about the Dr. Animo shots and the Gwen and Max shots, and I kind of figured it out, especially when we jumped to the Eye Guy one, because I was watching Accelerate, kind of like noticing things. It's very apparent that there was very few shots, like there was only a couple of like quick moments where you had the particular alien, whether it's Accelerate, Heat Blast, or Eye Guy, I almost forgot, and they're in the same shot as a shot that I saw with the Heat Blast one, like with Accelerate or Eye Guy, but a lot of it's just singular new like shots with the Dr. Animo's mutated, you know, bug or whatever, or the creature. Like, a lot of that stuff was all new for all different versions. But then the couple of times they would, I guess they would like just use like I guess like add like layers of frames or something, so that, okay, in the shot where Gwen and Max are behind Ben, whatever version, Heat Blast, but they're not overlapping each other. So I guess they could it's like a new image essentially, that they're overlapping stuff. It's like that's kind of how I feel like they might have went about it, but they created all new shots with a lot of the whatever alien was going to appear in whatever version in the intro. They just had different shots and different approaches to taking down Dr. Animo's creature, and then of course shutting down the thing, even though Eye Guy and Heat Blast were pretty similar. But it was interesting to kind of see the differences. Obviously, those two versions, XLR8 and Eye Guy, were not in HD, a high quality, like the Ben 10 HBO Max version for Secret of the Omnitrix, but they were still good enough. I mean, I noticed that the quality was actually, because I quickly looked over it, the quality was better on the recording versus on my screen in full screen, so I think the quality was better there. But overall, definitely was interesting for sure. I was curious to see it, and I'm glad that I did see it, because it showed that the fact they did more work in regards to creating these new alternative openings, that you could have seen one of these, but apparently, as people were commenting, that a lot of them saw Heat Blast, people were commenting, well, I saw the Eye Guy one, I saw the XLR8 one, so it's clear, I guess, based on where you live or whatever, or whenever they aired the film. I'm not really sure if they were switching those out at some point where they were putting different intros. I'm not sure the different openings, but it's interesting for sure that they did this, because you don't hear about this normally, and especially in animation, you do not hear about alternative openings that are slightly different. I noticed a line difference with Dr. Animo when it came to Eye Guy, but I didn't notice anything for XLR8 versus Heat Blast, but there was some minor tweaks, but of course a lot of new shots with aliens. But yeah, interesting stuff. So that was the video. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'm curious to know, guys, which opening did you see when you saw the film for the first time? Did you see the Heat Blast version that I saw when I watched the film? Did you see the XLR8 or the Eye Guy? I'm curious to know your thoughts, guys. Whatever thoughts you have about the alternative openings and Secret of the Omnitrix in general, let me know in the comments below. Talk to you guys soon. Peace out.